And we're back on Saturday Morning Sports Talk with the Kim and the gang. We're in the last leg of the race, and they're actually showing a track on the screen. So we are in actually literally a race.
Everybody's having a good time at the Winston. And this fella brought his own battery-powered blender. And he's set to go for another 30 laps. Never know what you're going to find up there in the grandstand.
Now, America right there, man.
America.
That's when America was great right there. People want to know. That's right there. when you're allowed to bring your battery-powered blenders into the NASCAR races.
I'm glad we're getting
Once
it.
upon a time, you could bring coolers
You can bring coolers now.
into the track.
Yes. Yes. No problem. Just can't bring big giant ones.
I'm not better long term.
No, you can't bring big giant ones. That was funny that one guy's behind and my son going to the race, they had one of those big coolers and they got stopped by security. He's like, "What do you mean I can't take it?" He's like, "You're supposed to be able to fit under your seat, you know, Tom."
Yeah,
So it's something to that, like a 12x12 or something.
I
like
bought
that.
a ticket to put this thing
no,
in.
it was one of those two people have to carry this joker type things. So
Cramp.
yeah. when you that fast. Chip, the umpires are just limping around.
We're going to start hiring it.
That hurts. I don't care.
We're going to hire a trainer for the show, man.
So
I feel it for
here's
him.
the trophy for the race on Sunday. Terry, do you think they just had that and then went in and recolored the bottom part once they changed the track?
Probably.
Oh God, guys!
Just change it to whatever.
Like, why is
color.
the top part still on there?
I know, why is it still there?
But anyway, there's a lot of people asking that. Was this pre-made before they changed that idea?
Love it.
Like, we ain't fixing that trophy. Corey LaJoy, you know him, right?
Yep.
He tweeted out that he would buy an OnlyFans subscription of Shane Van Gisbergen's footwork.
Oh, Lord.
Van Gisbergen tweeted back that he could showing it for free, brother.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, this guy right here is supposed to be a street racer,
Right.
which, you know, he's only been in NASCAR, I think, the second year.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
This
talking
is his
about.
first full, yeah.
Yeah, and he did win one. He did win the Chicago race last year. You know, when they had. But that's when people was talking to me, and I try to tell people, if you are a road course driver, hey, I can pick your picks. I can tell you who's going to be where. I can tell you almost who's going to win. Because last week, Christopher Bell ends up winning the race. How many road courses has he won? He's won 3. Who finished second? William Byron. He's won 2. Tyler Reddick finished 3rd. He's won 3. Chase Elliott finished 4th. He's won 7. Kyle Busch come in 5th. And Kyle Busch doing good in the road course is good, but he has won 4. Now, you go beyond that, the only other 2 drivers down here that would even be in the same vicinity, Kyle Larson's won 6 and A.J. Allmendinger's won 3.
He just wanted to be able to announce that Kyle Busch finished in the top 5.
Well,
That's why
did.
he shared
I'm
that.
proud of him. I mean, you know, him finishing 5th, I always say Kyle Busch is between the 8th to a 15th guy.
Well, what's wrong with
In a road
those
course.
tracks
But now
showing
here-
out who the good drivers are?
Well, no, it's not showing out who's a good driver. It's only so many going to win it.
Wait a minute, time out. Well, I know that, but why?
It's showing good all-around driving.
Let me ask this, Terry. No, that list is very interesting to me.
Ryan Blaney, how many has he ever won? 1. Denny Hamlin, how many has he won? He's a great race car driver.
I'm glad you said his
He's
name.
won 1.
Exactly. I'm glad you said that.
Joey Logano, how many has he won?
That was the next name I was about to say.
1.
You're proving my point.
No, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't know whether I am
You're
or
proving my
not.
point. No,
But
that's what I'm saying. No,
Daniel Suarez
Right.
won 1.
What I'm saying is that the guys who people have accused of always having the best equipment all the time, the Denny Hamlins and the Loganos and the Larsons of the world, you're sitting over naming a bunch of guys that aren't accused of having all the equipment. And those guys have always been said, hey, put us in a car, any car with the same equipment, we're going to be better than those guys. And so I think those road course numbers are showing some of the, it's showing like Logano. Like, if he competes in every track, everywhere we go, why is he not competing on the road course?
Yeah, he finished 24th last week.
Why is he not?
That's what I'm saying.
If he can-
you
if he
can't
can-
pick him.
He can block and wreck people on the big tracks, but he don't know how to
Cole
drive
Custer,
around these people.
Xfinity champion.
Mhm.
How many has he won? None.
He's behind Jimmy Johnson in points right now.
You know. Well, that's what I'm saying.
After 3
Eric
races,
Jones. He's
After-
a good race car driver.
after 3 races, Jimmy's ahead.
He's won none.
Jimmy's ahead of 3 guys who are full-time drivers.
Yeah.
So when you go look at this and you go road course, I can pick your people. It's simple. It's not hard.
I'm glad.
That's fine. I mean, that's I mean, Rusty Wallace used to traditionally be known as a short track driver. He was always good at Bristol and
I'm
Martinsville.
glad you mentioned all that, because when you go back to the old drivers and how many, here's where you come in. Jeff Gordon with 9, Tony Stewart with 8, Bobby Allison with 6, Ricky Rudd with 6, Rusty Wallace 6, Tim Richmond. These guys are no longer racing. Tim Richmond with 5, Darrell Waltrip 5, Martin Truex with 5, Mark Martin 4. I mean, you go down through here, you pick up all these other guys, but nowadays in NASCAR, give me 6 guys. You give me 6 guys, I give you the rest of the field, and I'll beat you.
That's road course wins right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that means that those guys are better drivers than what we got today.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I'm telling you, I think you're upset about it, and we're just saying like that sounds about right.
It sounds about right. I mean, I would
like you say Kyle Busch is a good driver and he can drive anything, and then you look at that stats. He's won what?
He's
4 or
won
5
4.
races.
Yeah.
My
So-
grandfather got my dad into NASCAR, and thus got me into NASCAR. And my dad's quote is, "It ain't my daddy's NASCAR. It's just not."
So like, guys, the Cup NASCAR does have a problem here. This weekend at COTA, the Xfinity Series actually ran faster lap times than the Cup Series
Yeah, think of that.
by almost a full second. Basically, it's not that far off, but either way, you want your Cup cars to be the fastest.
They don't.
in
Now,
the race.
it
So
used
there's
to
the
be-
Le Mans, the Gran Turismo's, the Xfinity Cup.
But
And
now,
there's the laps.
wait a
Laps.
minute. Think about what we're saying here. But then think about on the back end of it, how many of them Xfinity drivers have moved into NASCAR for this year?
Now, but it used to be like with
There's
Busch.
a good many that has moved from Xfinity to NASCAR
With,
to race.
with Busch Grand National, though, it used to be that the Busch cars didn't have the same. Their engine setup was not. They didn't have the same horsepower.
So-
is that still the same? Is that still the case? And they're still outrunning the Xfinity or
So-
the
I
Cup
know
cars?
the car
So-
don't weigh the same.
Right. So okay. So here's what the tweets were that was following it and talking about it. They said we would like, this to be fixed, but they're scared NASCAR will fix it the wrong way.
Yeah.
As instead of giving the Cup cars the horsepower that we just showed you last week with Richard Petty talking about, they need more horsepower, 100%. Instead of doing that, they will say, well, they'll just probably take it away from the Xfinity cars. Instead of giving the fans what they want with the more horsepower in the Cup.
Yeah.
The reason I was reading that they got around on this is because they are lighter and smaller and a little bit thinner, and that's why they were able to get around this track a little bit better.
They're at
because-
Phoenix this week,
because
aren't
we
they?
don't have because the Cup cars don't. If they had enough horsepower, they would have beat them. But if the Cup cars don't have that enough horsepower, that weight differential makes that much difference on that track. So, yeah, but that's what the guys are saying. Like, yeah, they're going to do the wrong thing. Instead of giving them horsepower, they're going to take it away from the Xfinity probably. So, not what's your best thing. You don't want your Xfinity cars outrunning your.
I just want to say, Jackie was listening to the show and was worried about what happened to me. I'm cramping up during the game, buddy. I'm okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make. It's not serious. We would not joke about it if it was serious.
JP's stretching him down the hallway.
Yeah.
Feeding him pickle juice right now.
I tell you what,
Yeah, he'll
man,
be
I
back
did-
in a second.
JP's pouring pickle juice in
Well,
his
I was
mouth.
telling somebody the other day, man. I said just getting too old to do doubles, man. I did doubles Thursday and Friday, and then
Oh, it's
like
hard.
you think you're okay, man, but then you realize, man, I'm 50 years old now, and I used to do this all the time when I was about 35.
Well, Tom, that's
tell
just
you,
like we was talking, and I tell people, I said, you don't realize you're getting old until you go to a doctor, and he says, man, you might need hip surgery,
Yeah.
And you start thinking, and you're like, and then he mentions other stuff that could be wrong with you, and you're like,
I'm just
oh, I
telling you,
hope
man.
not.
I'm just telling you,
But
man.
it wasn't.
I'm okay now. I tell you what, man, I don't know what it is about a cramp, man, but that is just like somebody sticks a dagger in your leg.
I
and
don't
you're
care what it's
done.
at, as long as it don't happen to me at nighttime.
You try to concentrate.
Then
Your
you
concentration
you can't
gone.
get out of the bed
Oh,
because
God,
it
it's
hurts
happened,
so bad.
It's happened to me. I did that one time. I went down and rode bikes. I did, I can't remember what it's called, the Swamp Rabbit Trail, I think in Greenville. And then I came up and umpired a baseball game like an idiot. And then I went home. And in the middle of the night, you're just screaming. My daughter comes out there. Is he dying? I said, no, it's just a cramp. But I'm going to tell you
But
what, you feel like you've been
Worst
shot.
thing that can happen to you is to have it at the same time in both of them.
Oh, God.
I've had that happen one time to me.
But that was funny.
never
Terry.
wanna
It's funny
see
that
that
you would
again.
say that, Terry, because it was in my right leg. And
Yeah.
then this one was in my left leg. I was like,
Do
God.
not need that to happen.
Yeah, that's.
All
But
right, that's enough
anyway,
about cramps.
that's right. And about our getting old.
Hey, you're fine. I'm trying to find the schedule for this weekend. NASCAR schedule for everybody. Give them a
ACC tournament will be on WHS and
Hey,
WCSL
today
as well.
people want to know State Carolina play at noon today in the women's. Okay, for them
That-
to go on to the championship tomorrow.
That will not be covered on KTC broadcasting.
Well, I'm
Unless
just saying
Cal-
they play.
unless
Last time they
Calvin does.
played, it was a 1-point win by Carolina.
Yeah, it'll be. You know, they're all good. Duke's good too in the women's. They do.
They
Carolina
play the
State,
fighting.
all good.
They play the fighting Irish.
practice and qualifying today at 2 and 3 for the Cup Series. Xfinity Series tonight at 5. We will not have coverage of that because we will have Duke and North Carolina on both stations tonight, WCSL and WOHS. Tomorrow's coverage, Sunday, the Shriners Children's 500 will begin at, I think, 2:30 our coverage is. They got the race marked at 3:30 from Phoenix here on the interweb. Any other final thoughts and anything, guys? This week
Burns goes up to TCR last night. They lose a tough one, 2-1. But I tell you what, stepping up to the plate, going up and play TCR, a good TCR team. But they come up a little bit short. And if you join the show late, controversial loss by Crest last night. They lose by 3. They're eliminated. But Hunter Huss moving on. They beat Ashbrook. So congratulations to Hunter Huss. We got a local
and
school.
a lot of other teams. from
Yeah, and
around
we've
here.
got, you
And
said the Stuart Kramer girls and the
North Lincoln and
North
Stuart
Lincoln
Kramer
girls
girls.
moving on.
Yeah,
So
moving
just
on.
want
East
to
Berks
get,
moving on.
Yep, give a shout out to some of our local teams.
Here's East Lincoln's and St. Louis Cardinals. Alex Burleson taking some short hop
He
drills.
turned into a
over
pretty
at
darn
first
good
base.
baseball player.
Well, they're moving him trying to move him to first
Yeah.
now and see if he can do some of that, and we'll see. They're just awful.
Every
He can
day,
hit,
well,
though.
hey,
He can
every day
hit.
the Yankees go out and play a spring training game, they lose another player.
All right, all right,
Kansas City lost Perez for a
100?
couple of weeks.
That's easy.
all right, real quick.
10,
We'll end the show on thoughts from Barry Bonds.
10 100-mile fastballs pitched to you today. You hitting any of them out?
100? That's easy.
Right now, today,
I don't care how hard you throw a baseball.
they gone.
There ain't no way you can throw a baseball 66 inches. I can't just do like this. If there's a catcher behind home plate that sits like this with a glove, and you throw 100 miles down, he just go like this, boom, boom. All I did was change this object to a bat. Boom, boom. I ain't got to change nothing. I just changed the object.
Right now.
Now, if you're asking me to do something spectacular, that would take time for my body to get used to it at 60.
But just going up there.
But to go up there and hit it,
like
I
riding
don't
a
care
bike.
how hard you throw
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
As long as I can see it, I hit it. Willie could do it back, and even when in his 60s, him and my dad and them would come and hit all the time.
I got more quotes from him in this interview. We'll do next week more baseball. But he's talking. He got a lot of fun thoughts about him and respect the kids that today don't act like they don't even know who he is or respect him. Or
I
something
tell you
like
what,
that.
I wish Barry Bonds would give a clinic on hitting an inside pitch
Yeah.
Well,
to high school kids. That
he just
don't know how
did. He
to
said,
hit
"Just
one.
swing quick."
Yeah.
That was
Replace your glove with a bat.
Yeah, that's all I said. You're just like trying to catch it with your bat. Yeah, I know that, Barry, but it's moving.
Much easier
At a
said than done.
All right, we'll see you guys next week on Shock Jocks, KDCBroadcasting.com.